Most people think checking domain and real estate is enough before buying a home. But if you don't check these 5 websites first, you could unknowingly buy in a flood-prone area, a high-crime pocket, or next to a future development that completely changed your street. Today I'm sharing the 5 free websites I personally use to spot hidden property traps before buying. Let's get right into it. Wait until website number 5. Some buyers only discover that problem after settlement when the apartment project next door has been already approved. In this video, I'm using Victoria as the main example, but every state has its own version of these websites, and I've listed the links at the end of each section. First, let's look at the land and natural risks. Website number 1 is VicPlan. If you are looking at properties in Victoria, this is your starting point. It's a great free tool to see exactly what you can and cannot do with a piece of land. You just type in the address and it shows you 2 key things: planning shame zones and planning shame overlays. Zones tell you the basic rules of what can be built. For example, a residential growth zone allows much higher building density than a neighborhood residential zone. That flexibility alone can add a lot of value to the land. Put simply, for 2 blocks of land that are the same size and in the same location, the RGZ block will usually be worth more. The report also links you to exact council rules like height limits and minimum garden sizes. Overlays are actual rules on top of the zoning. For example, if a house has a heritage overlay, you can't just renovate it however you want. You might even need a permit just to replace old timber windows with modern double-glazed ones. And sometimes you can't just repaint the front facade any color you like. But the one overlay a lot of buyers underestimate is the flood overlay. Some flood risk streets actually look completely normal during inspections. Sunny weather, clean gardens, nice houses. That's why many buyers never realize there's a flood risk attached to the property. If you see overlays like LSIO or SBO, that means the government already considers this a flood risk area. Agents might tell you, don't worry, it hasn't flooded here for decades, but insurers and banks already price in that risk. Some buyers only discover this after moving in. Their neighbors pay $2,000 a year for insurance, but they get quoted $7,000 for a very similar house on the same street. And if you want to renovate later, council requirements can significantly increase your building costs. That's why checking overlays before could save you thousands of dollars later. Once we check the land itself, let's look at the second website, school zones. This is one of the things that helps properties hold value over time. In Melbourne, sometimes 2 houses on the same street can have a price difference of hundreds or thousands of dollars just because one side falls inside the school zone and the other doesn't. When buying a school zone house, use Find My School to double-check. Just type in the address, pick the year your child starts school, and select primary or secondary. The map will show you the exact legal school zone. For example, some addresses will show they sit right inside the famous McKinnon Secondary College zone. You can also search by school name to see the whole boundary line. Sometimes a school zone property is worth buying not because the school is famous today, but because the school is clearly improving year by year. One important reminder, school zones can change. The government updates them based on population shifts and school capacity. So always check the latest map before you buy. Quick bonus trick here. If you want to do this backwards and find houses that are already inside a specific school zone, just go to domain.com.au. Type the school name, like Bowling High School, right into the search bar. The system will outline the whole school zone on your screen and filter all the houses currently for sale inside that boundary. But look, even the best school zone won't save your asset if the street feels unsafe. Let's talk about the dishwasher theft map. Website number 3, CrimeStats. Recently, some local builders told me that some brand new houses were broken into right before handover, and the dishwashers and hot water system was stolen overnight. Some areas in Australia do have safety issues, so we need official data to check the neighborhood. In Victoria, the most trusted source is the Crime Statistics Agency website. Look at their latest interactive map. The darker the color, the higher the crime rate per 100k people. Don't just look at the total number. Filter it by the local council and look at specific crime types, like property damage and theft, because these are the kinds of problems that actually affect daily life. After checking the stats, go to Google Map and look carefully at the current street view of the surrounding streets. If you constantly see negative homes, broken cars parked on lawns, or garages filled with rubbish, that can sometimes suggest a higher tenant turnover or less stable neighborhood. Many buyers are terrified of moving in and later discovering there's a large social housing complex right next door. The Force website helps you check public housing and future government housing developments. If you want to understand where a suburb might be heading in the future, you also need to look at who actually lives here. While you can't see the exact address of every social housing property, you can still use OpenStats to check whether certain streets or suburbs have higher concentration of public housing. Just open the map and type in the suburb name or postcode to see the percentage of public housing, private rentals, and owner-occupied homes. This isn't about judging people. It's about understanding what can affect buyer demand and long-term property values. Areas with a high concentration of public housing often see higher tenant turnover and slower long-term price growth. And don't just look at what's already built. Before buying, take 3 minutes to open the Victoria government's planning approvals list. Simply search your target suburb or postcode, and you can quickly see whether any new social housing projects are being planned or built nearby. Checking both sides together gives you a much better feel for where the suburb could be heading in the future. Now let's get to the one most people miss until it's too late. The site that tells you what your neighbor is planning to build. Before you sign the contract, you need to check if your immediate neighbors are planning something big. This is a completely free non-profit website that works across Australia. Many buyers move in thinking they've found their dream home, only to realize 6 months later that the neighbor has submitted plans to knock down the old house and build a double-story townhouse right along the fence. And once it's built, your living room barely gets sunlight after 3 p.m. This website connects directly to local council systems. It's incredibly simple to use. Just type in the address you want to buy and your email. It creates a virtual alert zone around that house. If anyone within a few hundred meters applies to cut down trees, extend a building, or construct townhouses and apartments nearby, the system emails you the exact blueprints and council links immediately. Checking this before you make an offer can save you from finding out the hard way later. Buying a home is the biggest financial decision most people will ever make. Spending just 20 extra minutes on these free websites could save you years of regret and tens of thousands of dollars in hidden repairs, insurance costs, or future losses. I hope you all find a home that still feels like a great decision 10 years from now. This is April. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps me bring you more of this insider perspective.